There is a universal principle hiding in plain view. One that orchestrates not just the subatomic realm but the very framework of your existence. It doesn't shout. It doesn't seek your attention. But once recognized, it transforms everything you believed about creation itself. It's known as the principle of simplicity. And here's its truth. The less friction within your energy field, the faster reality crystallizes into form. Not through greater desire, not through harder work, not through longer concentration, but through reduced resistance. To grasp this, we must enter the mind of David Bohm, one of the most groundbreaking quantum physicists of the 20th century. Bohm suggested something revolutionary, that reality unfolds from an unseen order beneath perception. A flowing movement, a unified hidden field from which all existence arises. In his words, the explicit order, the physical world, is the outpouring of the implicit order, the realm of infinite potential. In simpler words, everything you could ever conceive already lives as a possibility in that field. You don't pull your future toward you. You align with it. You don't construct the result. You select it from an infinite catalog of realities. But here's the twist. Your selection doesn't arise from craving, it comes from resonance. And resonance is born only through simplicity. Now let's bring in Neville Goddard. He taught that assumption becomes fact, not through force. Assumption, a clear, embodied, emotionally charged acceptance that it is already complete. And what is assumption truly? It's a vibrational knowing, an internal certainty, a mental and emotional ease. Now pause, breathe, and let that awareness linger. You were conditioned to hustle, to strive, to speak things into being. But within the quantum framework, resonance is causation, and resonance cannot emerge from chaos. The more you meddle, dissect, doubt, and adjust, the more noise you feed into your field, and the field doesn't sort intention, it mirrors frequency. Here's the mystery most people overlook. Desire itself isn't the issue. But when desire merges with hesitation, it forms resistance, and resistance slows manifestation. That's why some individuals create effortlessly while others wrestle with outcomes. Not due to fate, but because some hold simple conviction while others drown in complexity. Those who manifest with grace share a single trait. They've released control over the how, the when, and the outcome. They've chosen a reality and then become its vibration. Observe this in nature. A seed doesn't struggle to turn into a tree. It carries a flawless design encoded in simplicity. When the conditions align, light, soil, stillness, it flourishes. Not through struggle, but through expression. The field of potential behaves the same way. Your intention is the seed. Your harmony is the soil. Simplicity is the sunlight that helps it bloom. But what obstructs this flow? Excessive effort, endless expectations, conflicting signals. You ask for prosperity but emit desperation. You seek love but vibrate inadequacy. You crave clarity but overanalyze every message. And so the field postpones, not as punishment but as precision. The collapse happens only when your frequency stabilizes, and stability is born from simplicity. Now let's ground this in science. In quantum mechanics, the collapse of the wave function, when probability becomes matter, isn't accidental. It's shaped by observation filtered through coherent vibration. Your inner alignment anchors one version of reality into visibility. And the purer that coherence becomes, the quicker the collapse occurs. So here's the golden thread. Simplicity isn't passivity. It's precision. It's the mastery of becoming so vibrationally pure, so emotionally synchronized, that the field has no option but to materialize what you've already become. Think of it like adjusting a radio. You don't create the melody. You don't force the tune. You simply locate the precise frequency, and the music comes alive. It was always present, but it manifests when you stop twisting the dial. That's the essence of the simplicity principle. But here's the final revelation. People resist simplicity because complexity provides comfort. It gives them a reason. It's not happening because I skipped a step. It's failing because I haven't healed enough. Maybe I just need to do more. Yet simplicity eliminates all those hiding spots. It faces you with the raw truth. You are the gatekeeper. You always were. This isn't about blame. It's about empowerment. Because once you see that your reality isn't something you earn but something you allow, you stop trying to dominate the field and begin co-creating with it. So let's close the circle. The simplicity principle isn't a method, it's a state of being. A state where desire merges with identity, where thought transforms into knowing, where you no longer ask, how will it happen? But live from of course it's done, because in the hidden order of the universe, it already is. You're not producing it, you're choosing it. You're not striving toward it, you're attuning to it. And once your frequency becomes steady, bright, harmonious, simple, the universe folds around it like metal snapping to a magnet. Not because you forced it, but because you embodied it. And now, in our closing chapter, we'll go further, not into intellect, but into embodiment. Because simplicity isn't something you perform, it's something you are. Let's become the vibration itself. You've heard the phrase before, consciousness creates reality, but very few truly understand its depth. Not as an idea, but as a mechanism. At the quantum scale, the universe rests in still potential, in silence. Until you observe, until awareness enters the scene. That single act of perception doesn't just influence the result, it chooses it. The double-slit experiment shattered the very ground of science, not because it revealed particles behaving oddly, but because it unveiled something both frightening and freeing. Nothing exists as real until it is witnessed. A particle lives as a cloud of probabilities, a wave, until a conscious observer, even the slightest act of measurement, collapses it into one defined state. And here's where most people falter. They think observation means monitoring their life constantly, watching every sign, checking is it working yet? Refreshing the balance, scanning for proof. But that's not quantum observation. That's surveillance, and surveillance vibrates with mistrust. True observation isn't directed outward but inward, toward the signal within. The illusion of effort is believing that physical doing holds more weight than energetic coherence. Yet in the quantum framework, action only rearranges what consciousness has already selected. It's the effect, not the source. And if the decision hasn't been made in awareness, if the wave hasn't been collapsed through alignment, then action becomes an act performed in the theater of delay. Let's go even deeper. Physicist John Wheeler, a student of Einstein, expanded the double-slit experiment into something far more astonishing, the delayed choice experiment. In it, reality doesn't merely respond to observation. It reconfigures the past depending on when observation takes place. The implications are breathtaking. Your present state of awareness can actually shape how your past folds into your now. Which means it's not your hustle, your preparation, or even your clever strategy that's designing your life. It's the quality of your consciousness at the moment of observation. So what does this reveal about manifestation? It shows that trying harder is like yelling into static, draining and ineffective. But becoming harmonized, clear, centered, emotionally attuned sends a focused beam into the quantum field. That's when particles align. That's when timelines curve. That's when life appears to rearrange itself around you effortlessly. But hold on, here's the twist. Most people think they're observing when in truth they're reacting. Observation is silence. Reaction is turbulence. Reaction comes from fear, conditioning, the subconscious whisper of it didn't work before. And so, without realizing it, they collapse the same outcome again and again. Not because the universe is punishing them, but because the observer remains unaware. Here's the missing link. Your emotional frequency is the real observer. That's why Neville Goddard said, "You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are." Because who you are energetically, emotionally, is what the field reads as reality. And reality is what crystallizes waves into form. Effort often conceals a hidden vibration, doubt. Think about it. When you know something belongs to you, you don't justify it. You don't chase it. You don't cling. You relax. You smile. You sense it already unfolding. You align. But when you don't believe, effort becomes armor. You overanalyze, overplan, grasp too tightly. And in doing that, you broadcast a tangled frequency, part desire, part fear. And the universe, as exact as a mirror, reflects both. This isn't to say action is wrong, but that action without inner alignment is like painting over a cracked wall. It may appear fine briefly, but the foundation remains fractured. So what does genuine quantum observation look like? It looks like this. You step into a state where the feeling of fulfillment becomes more tangible than its absence. You move, breathe, speak, and think as if it's already real. Not pretending, not forcing, but from a calm, grounded knowing. That is coherent observation. That's when the wave decides to solidify as your world. Now a pause, a pattern break. Ask yourself, what in your life right now is disguising doubt? Which of your actions are born from trust and which from fear? You'll know instantly, one feels expansive, the other feels heavy. Here's the loop. Effort brings results only when it flows from identity. When doing emerges from being, not from emptiness. Otherwise, it's just motion without meaning. And here lies the snare. Society praises effort over ease. We're taught to measure worth by struggle, to glorify movement over mastery. But the quantum field doesn't respond to metals, it responds to magnetism. When you observe your desired reality through emotional clarity, without the interference of desperation or the static of control, you become magnetic. And the version of you that already exists in the field begins unfolding into this moment. Not because you pushed it, but because you matched it. So the real question becomes, are you the observer shaping your future, or the reactor reliving your past? That's our next threshold. Because transformation happens not when you understand the theory, but when you embody the vibration. When simplicity turns into your method. When stillness becomes your strength. And most importantly, when you stop chasing outcomes and start living as the one who already has them. That's the instant reality bends. And we're about to bend it even more. In the stillness of a calm lake, your reflection forms without effort. The surface doesn't strain. It doesn't try. It simply remains open, clear, and receptive. That is coherence. That is simplicity in motion. And that's exactly how the quantum field recognizes your signal. What we call the universe isn't some faraway cosmic machine judging your worth. It's an intelligent, interactive sea of vibrating possibilities, responding instantly to the frequency you emit. Not to your words, not to your affirmations, but to the energy beneath them, the emotional precision, the coherence. And within that coherence lies the strength of simplicity. Let's bring in science. Dr. Joe Dispenza and the HeartMath Institute have demonstrated through countless experiments that when your brain and heart move into harmony, your electromagnetic field becomes ordered and quantifiable. That field extends nearly 3 meters beyond your body. You are literally broadcasting into the quantum fabric. And the more unified your field, the greater its influence on matter, probability, and connection. But coherence can't emerge out of mental clutter. When your mind spins with worry, analysis, fear, and tension, your field becomes scattered. Like an untuned radio, your signal splinters. That's why the harder you try to manifest from chaos, the further alignment seems. You're not transmitting clarity, you're radiating noise. Now let's shift the analogy. Imagine yourself as a symphony. Every thought, feeling, and intention is an instrument. Coherence is when they play together in perfect harmony. Simplicity is the conductor that brings each note into unified rhythm. Without simplicity, every part fights to be heard, creating only confusion. With simplicity, the entire composition becomes beautiful. The field hears and responds. This isn't poetic exaggeration, it's bioelectric fact. Your body is a quantum broadcaster. Your emotions act as modulators. Your beliefs shape the carrier wave. And when you simplify your inner world, by silencing overthinking, releasing attachment, and tuning into gratitude, presence, and certainty, your signal cuts through the fog like a laser. Here's the twist. Simplicity doesn't mean abandoning tools. It means refining yourself. You can meditate, visualize, affirm, but if you do it with strain, you magnify strain. If you act from control, you amplify control. Yet when you do these from calm assurance, you become coherence itself. Let's ground this in reality. You walk into a room. Someone stands there, calm, smiling softly, not trying to impress or persuade, simply present. Their energy fills the room. You feel drawn in. That's coherence. It doesn't demand. It resonates. Now imagine that same energy directed not at people but toward timelines, outcomes, or possibilities. That's the real heart of manifestation, not broadcasting louder but vibrating purer. And that purity is accessed only through simplicity. Why is simplicity so potent? Because it means you've stopped chasing. Chasing vibrates with, it's missing. Simplicity vibrates with, it already exists. That shift, from seeker to selector, changes everything. Remember, the field reacts faster to being than to doing. In a study by HeartMath, participants generated elevated emotions while focusing on an intended outcome. Those who simply felt as though it was already realized, without trying, created physical shifts in DNA samples several meters away. This wasn't visualization, it was vibrational alignment. And those who strained or pushed mentally produced weaker results. That's not symbolism, that's measurable quantum effect. It proves a universal law: coherence amplifies intention, effort born from resistance distorts it. So how do you reach coherence? By simplifying your focus, by becoming intentional with your emotion, by choosing a single clear timeline and matching it vibrationally so purely that the field reorganizes around your signal. But be aware, the ego will fight this. It will whisper, this is laziness. You need to plan harder, push more, control everything. Why? Because the ego thrives on complexity. It survives by fixing problems. Simplicity threatens its very function, because simplicity declares, nothing is broken. Only alignment is required. And here's the missing link most teachings overlook. People chase techniques. They ask, which method works best? But that's the wrong inquiry. The real question is, what energy are you radiating while using that method? Two people can visualize the same goal, one from faith, one from fear, and manifest opposite realities. It's never the ritual. It's always the resonance. Simplicity is the sacred frequency that whispers, I trust the field. I am the field. I don't pursue. I choose. That's the vibration that bends reality, not through force but through attunement. Coherence isn't a privilege reserved for the awakened few. It's your innate state beneath the static. The more you simplify, the easier it is to reach. The deeper you access it, the stronger the field reflects it. And the more the field reflects it, the faster your future crystallizes into your now. But we haven't yet uncovered the greatest trap of all, the cycle of effort itself. Why we keep falling back into it, why it feels so intoxicating, and how to dissolve that loop permanently. That's where we're headed next. You wake with inspiration, a new vision, a better timeline, a brighter life. You meditate, visualize, affirm with passion. For a while you feel unstoppable. Then nothing shifts. The outer world stays unmoved. Doubt seeps in. So you double down. You try more tools, more rituals, more content, more alignment practices. But under it all lies fear, quiet, subtle, constant. You start asking, what am I missing? And the cycle restarts. This is the effort loop, the most enticing snare on the manifestation path. It wears many disguises: ambition, discipline, commitment, even spirituality. But at its heart, the effort loop is a trauma loop. The subconscious mind's attempt to earn what it secretly feels unworthy to receive. It believes that if it works hard enough, mentally, emotionally, energetically, it will finally deserve the outcome. Yet the quantum field doesn't react to effort, it responds to authenticity. And here's the hard truth most avoid: the effort loop keeps you safe. Not joyful, not fulfilled, just safe. Because as long as you're moving, you don't have to be still, and as long as you're not still, you never face the deeper fear. What if I stop trying and nothing happens? But what if stillness is the exact doorway where transformation begins? Let's break that down. Effort is the mind's survival instinct. In the material world, effort works. Build a home, lift a weight, train your body, effort equals progress. But in the quantum realm, effort doesn't translate the same way. Why? Because energy doesn't move through force, it moves through frequency. And frequency is determined by clarity, not exertion. So when you're stuck in the effort loop, micromanaging timelines, perfecting techniques, analyzing every signal, you emit incoherence. Your vibration says, I don't trust. And the field, as always, mirrors that belief. The tragedy? Most people mistake this loop for progress because it feels busy, it feels alive. But it's not evolution, it's repetition. And the most dangerous aspect? The loop feeds the ego. The ego says, look how devoted I am. Look how spiritual I've become. Look how much time I've put in. But trying isn't being. Performing isn't aligning. Motion isn't manifestation. Here's a pattern interrupt. Picture a lion in tall grass. It doesn't sprint after every antelope that passes. It waits. It observes. It becomes completely still. Its focus condenses into pure intention. And when it moves once with accuracy. One leap, one strike, no hesitation, no waste. Manifestation works the same way. When your energy is scattered, chasing, forcing, overthinking, you miss. When your energy is centered, quiet, grounded, aligned, you hit. The result finds you. Now here's the deeper truth. The effort loop is often inherited from family, culture, even collective trauma. You were taught that rest is laziness, that surrender means weakness, that ease is undeserved. So when you finally experience simplicity, it feels foreign. You resist it. You sabotage it. Because your nervous system doesn't yet recognize ease as safe. But it can relearn. Neuroplasticity shows that consistent emotional states rewire the brain. If you practice simplicity, not as escape but as alignment, you train your body to trust a new truth. I am safe in stillness. I am strong in peace. Over time, the loop dissolves, but not overnight. The ego resists. It throws guilt, it whispers doubt, it lures you back into noise. That's when you pause and breathe. Remember this truth. The more effortless it feels, the more aligned it becomes. So how do you finally step out of the loop? First, you notice it. Awareness is the ultimate disruptor. When the urge to push arises, ask, is this coming from clarity or from fear? Second, you anchor into simplicity. This isn't about doing nothing, it's about doing less with full presence. A 5-minute visualization infused with deep emotional resonance holds more power than an hour of distracted affirmations. Third, choose identity over effort. Don't act like someone trying to manifest. Embody the one who already has. Feel it now. Speak it now. Move from it now. And finally, release the timeline, because attachment to speed is just control wearing a mask, and control is fear disguised as order. Now breathe this in. The version of you who already lives your desired reality isn't hustling to create it. They're harmonized with it. What if you stopped trying to create and started remembering? What if your only real task is to clear the static so the timeline can reveal itself? Let's shift something together right here. Type this to anchor the change. I manifest through clarity, not chaos. Let it be more than a comment. Let it be a declaration, a vibrational imprint, a new point of origin. Because once you choose coherence, the loop doesn't collapse because you fought it, it dissolves because you outgrew it. And from that altitude, something extraordinary occurs. The field begins to shape around your stillness. Possibilities converge. Time folds in on itself. And what once felt distant becomes now. But we're not finished yet. There's one final principle, the one that threads everything together. The truth that shows simplicity isn't just powerful, it's inevitable. Hidden in plain sight lies a universal law, quietly orchestrating both the subatomic world and the structure of your personal reality. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. But once you see it, it rewrites everything you believed about creation. It's called the simplicity principle. And here it is. The less resistance in your field, the faster reality collapses into form. Not more desire. Not more effort. Not more hours of focus. Less resistance. To see why, step into the mind of David Bohm, one of the most visionary quantum physicists of the 20th century. Bohm proposed something revolutionary, that reality unfolds from an invisible order beneath what we perceive, a hollow movement, a unified implicate field from which all things arise. In his view, the explicate order, the physical world, is simply the outward expression of the implicate order, the field of infinite potential. Put simply, everything you could ever imagine already exists as a possibility within the field. You don't attract your future, you tune into it. You don't build outcomes, you select them from an infinite menu of realities. But here's the paradox. Selection doesn't happen through wanting. It happens through alignment. and alignment can only exist within simplicity. Now bring in Neville Goddard. He taught that assumption hardens into fact, not through effort but through embodied certainty. Assumption is emotional clarity, a deep, quiet knowing of "it is already done." And what is assumption really? A vibrational precision, a mental and emotional simplicity. Pause. Breathe. Let that awareness settle. You were trained to hustle, to strive, to speak things into existence. But in the quantum model, resonance is causality, and resonance cannot rise from noise. The more you interfere, analyze, tweak, and question, the more static you inject into your signal. And the field doesn't filter intention, it reflects vibration. Here's the overlooked truth: desire isn't the problem. When desire fuses with doubt, it becomes resistance, and resistance delays manifestation. This is why some people manifest with ease while others struggle. Not luck, not worthiness, but clarity. The ones who manifest gracefully share one trait: they've surrendered the how, the when, and the need to control. They've chosen a reality and then become the frequency of it. Look to nature. A seed doesn't strain to become a tree. It carries a perfect code within, pure and simple. When the environment is right, sun, soil, stillness, it grows. Not from effort, but from expression. The same is true for you. Your desire is the seed. Your coherence is the soil. Simplicity is the sunlight that allows it to emerge. And what blocks this process? Too much doing. Too many shoulds. Too many mixed signals. You ask for abundance, yet radiate urgency. You ask for love, but emit unworthiness. You seek clarity, but analyze every sign to exhaustion. And so the field pauses, not as punishment, but as precision. The collapse happens only when your frequency is steady, and steadiness is simplicity. Now let's ground this in science. In quantum terms, the collapse of the wave function, when potential becomes form, is not random. It's guided by observation shaped through vibrational harmony. Your inner signal anchors one reality into perception. And the quicker that harmony is achieved, the quicker the collapse unfolds. So here's the golden thread. Simplicity is not weakness. It is accuracy. It's the art of becoming so vibrationally pure, so emotionally synchronized, that the field must crystallize what you already are. Imagine it like tuning a radio. You don't compose the melody. You don't force the tune. You simply locate the perfect frequency, and the music reveals itself. It was always there waiting. It becomes tangible the moment you stop turning the dial. That's the simplicity principle. But here's the final twist. People resist simplicity because complexity provides an excuse. It's not happening because I'm missing a step. It's not working because I haven't healed enough. Maybe I just need to try harder. Yet simplicity removes all hiding spots. It confronts you with the uncomfortable truth. You are the gatekeeper. You always were. This isn't about blame, it's about empowerment. Because once you realize your reality isn't earned but allowed, you stop trying to dominate the field and begin co-creating with it. So let's close the loop. The simplicity principle isn't a tactic, it's a state. A state where desire becomes identity, where thought turns into knowing, where you no longer ask how will it happen, but live from of course it's done. Because within the implicate order of the universe, it already is. You're not constructing it, you're selecting it. You're not chasing toward it, you're tuning into it. And once your frequency becomes stable, luminous, coherent, simple, the universe folds around it like metal drawn to a magnet. Not because you forced it, but because you embodied it. And now, in our final chapter, we go deeper. Not into comprehension, but into embodiment. Because simplicity isn't an action, it's an essence. Let's become the frequency. You've now glimpsed what most never do, that the secret to quantum manifestation isn't hidden in intensity, complexity, or constant effort, but in the sacred precision of simplicity. It isn't achieved by pushing harder, but by tuning deeper. And now the real question arises, how do you live this? How do you become the vibration of simplicity, not just in thought, but in existence itself? It begins with a transformation of identity. Most people try to manifest as if they stand outside the process, like a child pleading with the universe for a gift. But you are not separate from the field. You are the field, consciousness condensed into temporary form, momentarily forgetting your own creative power. Every cell within you is a quantum receiver. Every feeling is a transmission. Every belief is a selector of possibility. Simplicity isn't something you apply to your manifestations. It's the state you return to when you remember who you truly are. So the practice isn't about adding more, but about releasing the noise. Release the doubt. Release the performance. Release the illusion that you must earn your worth in the eyes of reality. Instead, come back to the quiet center, the calm in the storm, the still point within you where every timeline meets. From that center, ask yourself, what does it feel like to already be the one who has it? Not eventually, not possibly, but now. Then breathe into that version of yourself. Not to become them, but to remember you are them. This is embodiment. And embodiment is how you collapse potential into presence. Now let's make this tangible. Let's do what most skip. Let's integrate, not just through thinking, but through vibration. Right now, wherever you are, close your eyes for a moment. Drop your shoulders. Feel the breath flowing through you, not because you make it, but because it moves on its own. That is simplicity. That is trust. That is the natural intelligence of existence expressing itself through your being. Now imagine a version of yourself who no longer chases results, who doesn't require proof to believe or hustle to feel enough, who simply knows that their energy is magnetic, that their alignment already creates, that their vibration, when steady and clear, reshapes matter effortlessly. What does that version of you wear? How do they move? What do they no longer justify, explain, or question? Feel it, not mentally but somatically, because manifestation doesn't start in the mind. It begins in the body, in the heart, in the subtle electric current of certainty. And from that certainty, everything unfolds. This isn't performance. This isn't another routine to tick off your list. This is a homecoming. The less you try to impress the field, the more it mirrors your authenticity. Because the quantum field doesn't respond to who you're pretending to be, it responds to who you already are. So make simplicity your signal. Wake each day choosing to feel before you act, to align before you decide, to embody before you request. And when complexity surfaces, as it always will, pause, breathe. Remember, complexity is the ego fighting for survival. Simplicity is the soul choosing creation. You don't have to force clarity, you only need to clear the interference. And when you do, life softens. Ideas sharpen. Opportunities appear, not because you hunted them, but because you became the version they were meant to find. Now, if this message awakens something deep within you, if something ancient stirred between the lines, know this, you've only begun. This journey of quantum embodiment isn't a single transformation. It's a living initiation, a reawakening, a return. And if you feel the pull to explore deeper, not just in understanding but in activation, there's a path waiting for you. It's called Awaken Your Quantum Power. It's more than a book, it's a frequency map, a guide for those ready to step beyond the mental maze and into embodied simplicity. It's designed to help you stabilize the state, shift realities with precision, and attract alignment from the inside out. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below. If your intuition stirs, follow it. Let it meet you in your now. Let it expand you into your remembered self. Because this isn't the ending, it's the edge of the extraordinary. A new you, a new vibration, a new field. And from here, everything transforms.